This is the MLW Radio Network.
Welcome, everybody, to the Mind of the Meanie, your weekly peek into the world according to former WWE superstar and ECW original, the Blue Meanie. We'll cover wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I am your tour guide, Josh Shernoff, and he is the Blue Meanie. Meanie, what's on your mind?
He shall be Devon, and he shall be Devon. Doing good, man. Doing good. Just a little nod to what we were talking about before we started officially recording.
Yes. Available in the archives at something that, wait, no. At
Yeah.
Patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. That's what it is. But yeah, man. So what's up? What are you doing? What are you thinking about?
Doing good, man. As everybody knows, we record on Saturday. Mm-hmm. And before I came on here, I did Giovanni's podcast, Giovanni Hamilton, for Sports Talk with Giovanni. And it's always a good day when I talk to that little guy over there. He, not little guy. He's, he's 13. What is he going to do?
Yeah, but you're a big dude, so everybody's a little guy. I'm a little guy.
I forget how big I am sometimes.
Yeah.
And then I see photos. Big guy. And I see photos. I'm just like, oh man, I'm a giant sloth.
No, I was talking about your height, man. Like you're like just a massive guy. You're a big dude. Like no matter what.
I forget.
Like
yeah, I forget.
You're just a very tall, large-framed person. That's not, You spend too much time in the wrestling business. That's the problem. See, if you were in the
Giants,
if you spent all this time in the real world, you would have walked around with people just being like, "Dude, you're enormous." But you spent all that time in the WWE and ECW, and you're walking around there, and you're like, "I guess I'm just an average-sized guy, average to below average height," and because here comes the Undertaker. So
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah,
it's because like in wrestling, I was always more comfortable working with the same height or smaller guys. And when I went to WWE, it was just like, man, what do I do?
Yeah.
I feel I'm the little guy here. Before WWE, I was like the big guy. You go there and you're like, man, I'm
it's all relative.
Average. Oh yeah.
That's why I hang around elementary schools.
That's why they have the warnings.
That's why I hang around 500 yards from elementary schools.
500.5 yards. Fighting over decimal points.
Oh, hey, new shirt available at ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Wednesday night tiddlywinks is available now. Thank you, Andy Slichter. And when I say available now, I mean it was submitted yesterday, and I'm hoping by Monday when you're hearing this, it's available now. So keep checking into it. We got some great ones over there. Some new shirts coming out there.
Slichter slacking because we usually get like artwork during the show.
No, yeah, I mean he only gave us I think 4 new t-shirts this past week. Which I was just like, I was so close to just be like, you're fired. But you know what?
The F-bomb one popped me.
That was great.
I got a lot of play out of that.
Oh, but by the way, if you're a Patreon member, they're available now. Like now. Like Saturday. They're available right now. You can go get them. And in multiple colors, too. Yeah, let's see some of the... What do we have here? We've got... he just put the... Okay, so the Trey Meanie Studios logo. Is that on a shirt yet? Did we put that on a shirt?
You can.
We should, if we haven't.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. We've got the gold shit shirt. They have gold in their hands and they shit on it. Which is pretty cool.
Breaking news.
Oh. None of these are... I hate this because they're not showing up because there's like a white background on my Dropbox here. Hold on. It doesn't matter. Everybody's listening to this anyway, but they're really good. They're really, really good. James Sorensen, what's up?
What's up, dude?
Devin Miller Devin Miller just tried to, on our Patreon, just tried to sneak in an Ask Meanie question by just going, can't wait to hear your thoughts on Paul White joining AEW. That's definitely an Ask Meanie question, but he slid that in there nice and early.
I think I was just as surprised as everybody.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, he was just on the Raw Legends show not too long ago, right?
Yeah, being totally disrespected and, you know.
No, I didn't say it.
Nobody treats Legends worse on camera. I'm saying on camera. Nobody treats Legends on camera worse than WWE.
What was the deal? What happened?
He was sitting there, and Randy Orton came over and just kind of like disrespected him and pretty much called him like a washed up has been type deal. You know, and look, and I get it.
Well, they were like on brand with Randy though, because he's like the legend killer,
right? And that was like the whole idea, and that's fine. But I think it's like, I guess my issue more is like WWE, and they've always kind of been this way. Like there's this shelf life of like your full-time in-ring career. And then 90% of their legends, they've now just said, well, now they'll just be the happy-go-lucky legend who comes out and waves and says hello. Then occasionally you'll have like your Goldberg that nobody really wants to see anymore, but they take him and they just run him into the ground as like pretending he's not a washed-up has-been in any way.
No, he didn't almost kill the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Brother. Oh man, that was a rough watch.
That was a tough one. That was a really tough one. Yeah. I just, you know, I look at what AEW does, and I know AEW doesn't do everything right, but you look at now, they've got Tully Blanchard is going to be wrestling, coming out of retirement to team with FTR against Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy and Marco Stunt. I guarantee you he is going to be used perfectly for what his talents are, what his limitabilities are. That's not a word.
What?
Limitabilities? That's not a word. Is it?
Limited ability.
Limited ability. I just kind of put it together. Whatever his limitabilities are.
Smashed it together like Play-Doh.
Yeah, his limabilities. Jeez.
No, you're just one.
I'm talking like how Meltzer writes his tweets. He tweeted something being a dick as usual, and he was like someone asked him like an honest question, and he like basically was like, you know, next time you should read. Like it was like terrible. But the dude like asked a question, put a period instead of a question mark, then he started the next sentence with "and." Like it was really, I'm like, I thought you're supposed to be a writer, but and this is coming from a guy like me. Like I've always considered things like commas suggestions. Like I don't really know, you know, but
yeah, I suck with commas.
Yeah, but I'm not claiming to be anything I'm not. Anyway,
I'm not a journalist.
Yeah, neither is he. So,
dude, it's just like, why even go online if you're just gonna be a dick?
Yep.
You know.
Yep. And then he's like, his whole thing was because he was angry because somebody called out the fact that he had his awards, the second most important awards in wrestling, second to the Shernoff Awards, and
of course,
just as legitimate too. And but like someone was like questioning because Bayley and Sasha's feud wasn't in like the top, like wasn't mentioned in something or whatever. I don't read the Observer, but he kind of like not only was being a dick, but was also taking a step back and just being like, whoa, hey guy, I don't vote or count the votes or anything. And it's like, well, listen, they're your fucking awards. So, you know, you might not count them or vote on them or anything, but it's your name on it.
Right.
You know, like we're going to take
your brand.
Yeah, the same way that we've talked about before with the podcast, that when I say something or do something or tweet something or whatever, it's representative of you. Just like what you do is representative of Al because he broke you into the business. Like,
yes,
that's the thing. Like these are your awards. You can't just be like, hey everybody, check out the Wrestling Observer Newsletter Awards. It's a big deal. These are the greatest things in the world. Oh shit, no, I had nothing to do with it. Hands off. No. Don't blame me if you don't like the awards. I'm just here promoting them and claiming that they're really important.
I just email you from my personal email account so you can vote on them awards. You know, just
what a penis. Anyway,
I don't get it. Everybody's celebrating it. Like, I mean, it's like it's a made up award, really.
Yeah. Well, not only that, too. You
don't get a plaque or anything. There's no ceremony.
That was the thing. Like when Bill Apter made it into the Observer Hall of Fame, which a lot of people consider the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame to be the true Hall of Fame. And that I get. I get that because it's voted on by fans. But it's not voted on by all fans, you know?
Well, they have some of the boys vote on it, too. I used to vote on it.
Well, you can vote on it if you're if you subscribe or whatever.
No, he used to send me a ballot.
Oh, wow.
To vote on it. Which he hasn't recently, so maybe I'm on the list, shit list. Who knows?
But I remember, with Bill, like it happened while we were doing the after chat, and I was like, oh man, well when you get like the plaque or award or whatever, we'll have to post that on social media. We'll do like whatever. He's like, oh yeah, no, he's not sending anything. I was like, what?
And what's the point,
dude? I got nominated for an International Academy of Web TV award, best male performance in a comedy. And I got something from them for a nomination for a.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm saying for the IAW TV. Like I know everybody. It's up there with the Emmys. Everyone knows what that is, right? But they gave me something for a nomination, and Dave Meltzer can't give someone something for a Hall of Fame.
You just reminded me. It's like superstar Billy Graham went on a fucking rant, and he was ranting and raving. Because he had heard that like WWE might not build an actual Hall of Fame building, and he disavowed himself from the WWE Hall of Fame, sold off his ring and all this stuff. And here we are. So people are celebrating the Meltzer Awards, and they don't get anything. It's just like weird.
I mean, for the love of God, I've got a Shernoff Award right here, right behind me. That's a real thing.
I guess you could just print out the award and hang it on your wall or frame it or whatever.
I guess so.
It's
unbelievable.
Can you send me a subscription for a week so I could just frame that?
Yeah, I guess, look, it's well established, and of course on this.
Well, the real Hall of Fame is in Waterloo, Iowa.
Yes, that is true. I want to go there.
To be clear, me too.
Yeah, I've never been. I want to go there.
Me too, because that and I go to Cauliflower Alley every year, which is awesome. But I would love to do the Waterloo one too.
Yeah, I joined. Thank God the Cauliflower Alley Club is a worthwhile investment to put your money into because it's a great cause. Because dude, I joined because I'm like, I want to go this year, and then So I'm gonna do the lifetime membership though this coming year because I only did the 1 year, and that's coming due, and it's like, I should just do the lifetime.
Yeah, it's so worth it.
Now that I'm making all this Mind of the Meanie money.
Where do we what's the thing? We did the BWO shirt commercial, and it's like, yeah, we got all the money. And I'm like, where do we get that kind of money from? Yeah, or whatever. I totally botched that, but
that's all right.
Yeah. And people used to quote that to me like left and right, which is cool. It's cool what fans remember and what I forget.
Yeah.
There's so many things
to judge. It's well established with this show. We don't know what the hell. What we've talked about. But no, big show to AEW. I'm gonna give you my opinion. For what it's worth,
I can predict how it's going to go to the T, but go ahead.
Well, I want to hear. Oh no! I want to hear that first because my opinion was on what they should have done, but I want to hear what you think. Because this is the mind of the meanie. No one really gives a shit what I have to say. So
I guess he's going to be an announcer at first on this new AEW Dark Elevation, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
I guess it's rebrand a thing and give it a.
Well, no, they got they got AEW Dark, and then that's on like Tuesdays, and then Monday's gonna be AEW Dark Escalator, or whatever I don't know, and Elevation, and then the dude from Wrestling Inc. Commented where someone was like, so does that mean they're not doing their second TNT show in 2021? And the guy from Wrestling Inc. was like, apparently that's how it seems. All that, they won't be doing that. Instead, they'll be doing a YouTube one. And he's like the main guy from Wrestling Inc. And then Tony Khan comments on his thing like, nope, still definitely doing the second show from TNT. This is something completely different. Which my question is, does this mean that they're not going to have 45 matches on AEW Dark? Like maybe they're going to split that. So, because this seems like Elevation seems like this is going to be the place to see maybe the people who aren't completely signed to them. They got a lot of like young talent who just comes in for Dark. Maybe this is going to
be their NXT.
Pretty much, yeah. I don't know. So anyway, so he's going to be doing commentary on that.
AEW Dark up next. Instead of next.
Yeah, with I got you. Yeah, so it's going to be Big Show or Paul White,
and then they'll do a recap show, AEW Dark Reverberation.
We'll have Tony Schiavone on there too, because unfortunately there just aren't any other people out there who can do more commentating or interviews or anything. If only they knew of someone.
Yeah, Tony Schiavone. It's not my fault. My prediction is he'll be like on there as like a play-by-play guy, and then somebody will disrespect him, and then he'll loosen up his tie and come from around the booth, and I'm going to fight you, and then he'll just become part of the roster.
Do you think they're going to end up having the match with Shaq? I mean, Shaq is facing Cody in a mixed tag match next week.
Yeah, I forget who brought it up. Like, yeah, it's just like Cody keeps. I don't know if he's legit injured or it's a work injury. But this might be Cody's way out of the match with the injury, and then have the match WWE probably should have done, but didn't do. Probably. I mean, it's kind of weird seeing somebody. I've seen how Big Show is in person. Paul White,
big guy.
And just to see Shaq, make Big Show or Paul White look advertised is pretty amazing.
How long do you think it's going to take before we stop calling him Big Show?
20 years.
So when he first became Big Show, I remember like my brother and I were like, well, first of all, what the fuck is the Big Show? That's a terrible name. And we're like, he's the Giant. I'm never going to think of him as anything other than the Giant. And to be fair, I very quickly started thinking of him as Big Show.
Yeah. And it's weird. Like I've started forgetting what John Moxley was called. Like I'm starting to get into that area where I'm starting to forget what
Jake
people
Hager
used to be called. What was Drew McIntyre before Drew McIntyre?
Well, in WWE, he was always Drew McIntyre, but Drew Galloway.
Right,
he went by Drew Galloway, that's his actual name. But he went by
cool.
Drew Galloway.
But like,
the Indies and an Impact and all that stuff, he was Galloway. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm getting to that point where I forget what Drew McIntyre was called. Before he was Eed.
Yep.
Before he was WWE'd.
Well, there's also I knew. So the funny thing is, I knew Stu Sanders was how I knew Wade Barrett, because he was Stu Sanders in OVW. So I knew him as Stu. And I just called him Stu, and he's in my phone. He's still in my phone as Stu Sanders.
Yeah.
Because at what point am I going to take the time to update that? That's not necessary. But he's in my phone as Stu Sanders.
Nobody got time for that shit.
What's that?
Nobody's got time for that shit.
No. Like bronchitis or whatever. No, not bronchitis. What the fuck? No. What is that? Ain't nobody got time for that.
It was like a meme.
Yeah.
Some lady on the street, and they were in there.
Was it bronchitis or was it? I don't know.
It was something like that. Yeah, you're refreshing my memory on the spot. Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that.
But anyway, no.
Yes.
So so I always knew him as Stu, and when he went to when he started with the NXT thing, the original NXT, they called him Wade Barrett, and it took a long time for me because I knew him personally. It took a long time to remember that his name was Wade Barrett. And then, believe it or not, a dude that I actually knew personally, I just started in my mind knowing him as Wade Barrett. He just became, because I saw him on TV a hell of a lot more than I talked to him in private. So he was Wade Barrett. Then he left. And when you're not there, you end up talking to people outside of WWE a lot more than the rest of the time. And at that point, he's now he was on So Says Shernoff. And anytime I talk to him, now he's Stu Bennett. He's, I'd done a couple of things with him promoting his movies and stuff. And he was Stu Bennett, which is his real name. And that's what he was using. He was acting. He had nothing to do with wrestling. Then he did some stuff with the NWA, and he's Stu Bennett, and he's going by his shoot name, so to speak. And
makes sense.
And so I'm just like, you know what? Oh, God, finally, I can call him Stu again. This is great. Okay, Stu Bennett, forget the Sanders. Stu Bennett, that's it. And then he comes on my show, gets the old Shernoff bumpski, and he's back in WWE. And he's
the
way
elevation.
Back. He got the So Says Shernoff dark elevation.
Yeah.
That's a fun fact. That's the coffee I'm drinking right now.
Dark elevation.
Dark elevation.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so then, by the way, check out this month's So Says Shernoff on Fight TV, if I can put that over a little bit.
Oh, it was really good, man.
Oh, did you watch it?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate
the photo of the back of Meltzer's head fucking killed me.
That was legit.
It's a shoot.
I have been holding on to that for, a year and a half, just knowing there was going to be a time. But
that and the photo of him with the tie-dye sweater tied around his neck like he's Billy Zapka in a 1980s movie. Billy Zapka, the notorious.
James Sorensen wants to know if we can get Stu Bennett on the Mind of the Meanie. I'm going to say no, probably, because he works for WWE now, and they're pretty strict about the control. When we did with the After Chat, we had Naomi on the After Chat, and it was like this. We're like, okay, like we really wanted to get a current WWE superstar. Nothing against her at all. But I was really hoping at that time it was going to be somebody, with a slightly bigger name value, I mean, we had done, our guests had been Hulk Hogan and Sting and Rey Mysterio before Rey went back. And, I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, we'll get someone good. And they're like, yeah, we've got Naomi for you. We're like, all right, that's fine. We're like, we can make the best of this. Yeah. Except WWE stayed on the line the entire time to make sure she was only there for a specific amount of time, to make sure that nothing was said that they didn't want said. And it became such a sterile, and there is no way that they would be okay with having somebody on this show.
It'd be like, it's kind of like doing an interview with somebody in North Korea. Somebody else is on the line with you.
Although it would be fun. We should try and get some people on the show. See who we can get fired.
Dude, it's funny. Well, my boy Steve Cutler, who was in NXT, and he was on SmackDown for a little bit. He just got released. Yeah.
Now he has a 90-day no compete, but I don't. Does that mean he has a 90-day he can't do a podcast?
The point is, I'm trying to make is I talk to him more now than when he was in WWE. It just seemed like once you're there, you really got to be mindful of what you say, kind of thing. Yep. And then, I sent him a thing, hey, man, what's up? He called me. I was like, I was kind of I was like, oh, he's calling me. What's up? It's like, hey, man, how you doing? Blah, 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 blah. It's like, it's like the first, we talk here and there, hey, Merry Christmas. Hey, Happy Flag Day.
Yeah, sure.
Happy whatever.
Arbor Day.
Yeah. Dude, that guy, Freight Train? The wrestler. He was on $5 Wrestling on.
Oh God, yeah.
Well, without going into detail, like somehow he got my number.
Oh man,
and he'll wish me. He's okay. He's a cool dude. He's a likable guy. But
I didn't know where the story was going.
No, he'll text me like hey, Merry Christmas, Blue Meanie, and it'll be like 2 months after Christmas, and it's just like, and me and Cliff Compton were talking about Freight Train one day. We're like, yeah, do you get the text like 2 months after the holiday? And it's like, where's he texting from that like it takes that long to get to you and stuff like that?
Do you think he's just somewhere where like once upon a time he's like, I need to know what month it is, and I'm gonna keep track of my calendar, and someone set him up just on the wrong month
as a rib?
Yeah. And that man has just diligently followed that calendar ever since.
Yeah. So me and Cliff Compton, like if it's Easter, I'd be like, Happy Flag Day. Well, that's like our little not inside joke with us. Yeah. Like we'll text each other the wrong holiday on the holiday. But back to Steve. Just like, we would exchange pleasantries on holidays and stuff like that. And then, like, once he got released, I was like, man, sorry to hear about that. I sent him a text, hey, man, sorry to hear about you getting released. Yeah. And he called me right back. I was like, what? I was like, what's going on here? I was like, how you been? Good to hear your voice, But, I would love to get some, current folk on the show. Especially now we're going to fight. And,
we've been
like that.
I won't say who, but one company reached out to us about getting somebody on, which was cool. It's always cool when someone reaches out to you because then you don't feel. We've talked about this before. Like there was the whole.
Feel like I'm being a burden.
Yeah, there was the whole premise of this podcast being the way that it is, and more of a talk radio, was because you didn't, and I agree, didn't want to be bothering people all the time to come on. So
you go through that Rolodex real quick too.
Yeah. Well, I talked about the after chat. That was kind of something we figured out there. Like Bill had, a Rolodex of all, the biggest names in the wrestling business, but even he ran out pretty quickly. You know what I mean?
When the show's basically set to interview people. And to us, it might be a little bit of a detriment because, like, I see all these other podcasts and they're posting clips to YouTube with interviews and all that stuff.
It is.
I'm sure it could drive up our viewers and listeners or whatever. Well, but I'm happy with I'm glad we're doing what we're doing and gaining the traction we're gaining.
Yeah.
Just sticking to our guns with
I think
sticking with the format.
I think the more people can, maybe we'll have to run the What Is Mind of the Meanie campaign. Like I have the What Is So Says Shernoff campaign currently running right now. Because that was a big thing. Like, what is So Says Shernoff? Like, people would just be like, you can't hear So Says Shernoff and go, oh, well, obviously that must be satirical wrestling news, Like, you don't know what it is. So I kind of started this campaign with a commercial I threw together that by the end of that commercial, in less than a minute's time, whether you like it or not, I can't help, but what So Says Shernoff is. You walk away going, okay, this is going to be satirical wrestling news. Yeah. I think the more people who know that we're more of a talk radio show, because otherwise, if they don't know what it is, there's so much stuff out there, but we're very grateful for the audience that we have. And one thing about the audience we have, and it keeps growing, but they're very loyal. And that's something that means the world to us,
It's hard to find loyalty, because there's so much content out there.
Yep.
People can listen to anything. It's all free.
Yeah.
Unless, you got the Patreon. And then, like, we were fortunate enough to have a Patreon where we got people who are, upgrading their services with us and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's even more of a, more humbling. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for, humbling. To have people be that loyal to, and different degrees doing what we do means we're doing something right and maybe something different, Yep. Because a lot of people like to, there's a lot of podcasts out there. I listen to them. I'll go I'm a YouTube junkie. I'll go through clips and stuff like that. Some stuff is, sensationalized, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to be the yuck, I'm shooting guy. Woohoo! Ping, ping, I'm shooting. Boom, yowee. But, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to have to put on a character when I'm doing this,
right.
It's one thing to put on a character.
The same way. I don't think we would have the loyalty of the listeners that we have if you were putting on airs, as they say.
Yeah, even when I do like shoot interviews and stuff like that, I kind of put on a little bit of a personality.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have my shoot interview voice, and hey, this is WWE superstar, the Blue Meanie, and all that kind of stuff. Which I say for
I
say for cameos and stuff, but
that's part of being professional at the same time too. Like we hope everybody has been enjoying That Was Extreme over on Ad Free Shows, but That Was Extreme is very different than like when we're like, I know in my voice, I can hear in my voice that it's different than even when I did Talking with Friends for our YouTube channel, youtube.com/mindofthemeanie. When I did that, I even felt, even though I was talking to my friends, I wasn't sure what we were, I wasn't sure what it was going to be like in the beginning. So I was much more professional, so to speak, right? Like we're here now. I was like that in the beginning of this show, but 49 episodes later, I'm just kind of shooting the shit with you, which I think is more enjoyable to people because they know, for better or worse, they're getting our honest opinions. They're getting us the way we actually are, Yeah,
our reactions are pretty much as they come. And like, we always made this like, not a mandate, but like a rule not to, like as soon as we log on, don't give away some of the best stuff,
Right.
Don't lead the conversation in the hallway.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Like we start talking, obviously, as soon as we get on, and we don't want to, and then we're like, all right, let's get our Patreon people on here pretty quickly because we just start having conversations. And that's the fun of this show, is that this show really is exactly like the second we log on together and are talking, it's the same thing, which is why we do have to cut each other off at times and just be like, all right, let's just do this on the show because something funny is going to happen and we won't make money off of the shirt if we can't make it.
Yeah, most of the communications like during the week is just text. So, I think we've talked maybe on phone like 3 times. Like, hey, let me call you. Hey, how you doing? But the only
time we talk on the phone is when it goes like this. I'm starting a text. And I'm just texting. And I go, you know what? I could just call him and we could be done with this in like 5 minutes.
Let me send a carrier pigeon.
Yeah. Well, because there's like something like when we've been talking about with the action figures and stuff. And there's sometimes like it's just so much easier to just be like, okay, hey, so I just talked to them. This is what we're going to do, as opposed to drafting this whole, story about this conversation that I had with Chella. But by the way, those figures are coming, and you can go to mindofthemeanie.bigcartel.com. That's mindofthemeanie.bigcartel.com. You can also just go to mindofthemeanie.com, and the first thing that you'll see there is for the action figures, the U.S. orders. If you're inside the United States, you can now go and pre-order the action figures, which should be available in the next month or 2. That's the rumor we're getting here. You can pre-order them now, and you can actually choose.
Is that what Meltzer's reporting?
What's that?
Is that what Meltzer reported?
Yeah, Meltzer reported it's going to be this month, next month, or plans could change. But and I actually heard that I heard Mabel was going to be in the 2-pack. He's the third man. But you can go right now to mindofthemeanie.bigcartel.com and you can either pre-order just the standard 2-pack, or there is an option to pre-order the signed 2-pack, because the ones that you get from mindofthemeanie.com or mindofthemeanie.com or mindofthemeanie.bigcartel.com, those are coming directly from us. They're coming directly from us, so we will have the ability to sign them as easily as we've had the ability to sign the the artwork that Meanie signed, and I'm still just sitting here with my pen in my hand. So.
Well, we gotta kind of do like a hostage swap where like I give you the art and you gotta give me the figures or something like that.
I gotta give you the figure. I gotta give you. I've had an empty can of seltzer here that I signed that I need you to sign so that we can auction it off for charity.
Yeah, we gotta do that.
I know Slichter's gonna buy it. Not Slichter. I'm sorry, Sorensen. Slichter won't buy it. He'll just make a shirt about it.
Yeah.
But
and then we'll sign the shirt.
They're joking in our Patreon area here that there's going to be the James Sorensen says, you guys are truly amazing. I love everything you guys are doing. I'll remain loyal till you block me. We're not going to block you. But RJ says, coming soon to Mind of the Meanie Patreon, the Sorensen level. I'm pretty sure that's the other name for the blue level.
Yeah, we should just name it that, the Sorensen level. Rechristen it.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, 12 months. 12 months, Sorensen, and we will rename it the Sorensen level. No, don't.
God bless you. No, please don't. I feel guilty already.
James is actually going to be, I'm excited for this, he's going to be joining us next month for one of our episodes. He'll be popping in here, and which is going to be a lot of fun. That's part of what comes along with being for 3 months of that top tier membership. You get to eventually get to be a guest co-host of the Mind of the Meanie podcast. So
that'll be fun.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun.
There's a lot of people I want to get on. It's just a matter of
me too, man. But I'm married, and look, that was a commitment I made. You know.
That's what showers are for. Soap is such a whore.
Oh, man.
Soap and a second knuckle. I'm good. I'll let your fucking mind draw that conclusion.
Oh, Lord.
It's comfortable up to this knuckle.
Yikes. Some might say the wrist is the knuckle of the arm. Anyway.
I'm like the Danny Hodge of wrists.
Oh, boy.
I could break a fucking apple with my wrist. Just look at that tendon strength. Big Popeye forearm.
Yeah, seriously. I know a lot of lonely guys with a Popeye forum.
Yeah.
Forum or forearm?
Shower.
What did I just say?
Popeye forums and detachable shower heads.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to I just want to give a quick shout out to Monthly Perosu magazine. The dude who created this was just sitting here, and I felt like, why be a jerk?
That's
he just
dedication.
sent me 2 free copies. His name's Tom Fain. I did a couple of shows with him for Fight for New Japan and Pro Wrestling Noah, and he has this magazine, and it's really, really well done. And if you're somebody who wants to learn more about Japanese wrestling from an unbiased person, it's all here, and it's really cool. And he sent me two different copies. Sorry, that was my gigger right over here. That just got my.
Your what? Oh,
It's my box cutter, because I was cutting boxes earlier, Meanie. Sniffing glue. Anyway, hey,
it's enjoying my drink.
Here's my one thing. I want your opinion on this.
I hope.
Have I been talking
to the show then?
Have I been talking a lot today? I'm having my coffee right now. My son slept for like 2 hours last night. I am loopy as can be.
Piece of shit.
No. Just kidding. So
piece of shit.
Big Show, Paul White, whatever the
big guy.
Big guy, giant guy. So
Talk about elevation. You never know about elevation until he fucking chokeslams you, man.
Yeah.
He chokeslammed me, and I'm looking at the ceiling, and I'm waiting to go down, and I keep going up. I'm like, what the fuck? Holy shit.
poor Marco stunt.
Oh, my God.
You know that's in his future.
Hopefully he doesn't wear like baby oil or it's not too sweaty. He slips out of Big Show's hand and ends up on top of Daly's place or whatever, you know?
So
Yes.
my one thing, I was so impressed with how it was kept a complete secret.
Yeah.
So to me, why did you blow it on social media with the announcement?
Right.
It is so rare nowadays to have a complete secret like that. It is so rare. Could you imagine? I understand they want him to be like the announcer or whatever. And that's fine. He doesn't have to wrestle. And I get that it's kind of tough to, do that appearance or whatever. But could you have imagined the same way they did with Sting and people went nuts? If just a few short weeks later, here comes the big show.
His ring music will be like, whoa.
Whoa, it's the large program.
Yeah.
No, to me, it was
the large elevation.
Although, look, everybody's talking about it. So I guess it worked. And that's the thing. Does anyone really care about must-see TV anymore? Because my thought is it turns on. People go like, holy crap, you need to turn this on. And people turn the television on. And there's your ratings.
Yes.
But, and then everybody tunes in to find out, and then he's not there. That's something I hate, too. Don't do that. I know he's going to be there this week. He should have been there last week.
Yeah, and you're debuting him on YouTube.
Yeah, it doesn't, I don't know. But I'm excited for Revolution, though. Which,
according to certain reporters, YouTube's only good when it's not WWE.
Right. You also can't make money on YouTube.
Yeah, apparently.
According to Stonewashed, son of a... You just can't. You can't make money on YouTube.
Stonewashed Steve Austin. No.
No, tell that to, those YouTube sensations in their $80 million mansions, because all they do is make fucking YouTube videos and people watch them for some stupid reason. And these people are multi-millionaires now.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Dave Meltzer said you can't make money on YouTube. So it's true.
Dude, I watch these people and all they do is record themselves watching music videos. And they get 30,000 likes. And I'm like, oh, my God.
The fuck are we doing with this podcast? Why aren't we just doing that?
Yeah. Meanie watches this. Meanie does that.
Yeah. Hey, start doing that. Put it on our YouTube.
There's a concept.
Watch some Van Halen, cry or whatever, and that will go viral.
Blue Meanie watches YouTubers watching videos.
Yeah.
Like I'll record myself watching another YouTuber.
Dude, it will go viral. Something like that. We sit here with thought and plans and how to build a brand, and that's all you have to do is sit there and watch someone watch something.
Yeah.
Put on your Daisy Dukes and your cutoff shirt, and that's it.
I would gear up for that.
Seriously. Depending on where you put the camera, you might only need to paint half your face.
Yeah. Look like I have a shiner or whatever, half a raccoon,
Man.
one ball out.
Like what'd you say, bat wing? Like you sat in gum?
Guys, I sat in gum.
RJ says, wrist is the knuckle of the arm has to be the show title name.
Write it down.
I'm writing it down right now.
Let those motherfuckers who read that title figure it out. Watch MLW retweet that one. I will be glued to the MLW radio Twitter as they have to retweet that fucking name.
We definitely need to we need to rib the MLW radio network. Something like name our episode like Court Power touched my bum bum or something.
Or just name the episode their Twitter handle. So when they have retweet it, they have to tweet their Twitter handle, and it'll just say MLW Radio Network at MLW Radio Network.
I want to no. You know what we need to start doing? Our episodes need to be named.
To do that.
Our episodes need to be named like at WWE, at AEW Wrestling, at Impact Wrestling. That needs to be the one title of the episode.
Yeah, and then AEW be like, "What the what?
Why is this happening?" And then I'll get a call from Dion, or Jeff, as they call him.
We'll call the episode hashtag FF, for favorite follow, and then we'll just put a whole bunch of ads on there. That'll be the name of our episode.
Maybe we'll do that for episode 50.
Yeah.
When we did our 50th episode for my old web series that I did, we named it Halfway to 100. And so I was kind of like, maybe I'll name it that. And then I'm like, no, we'll come up with something better than that. But that's our backup. That's our backup.
That's how goofy I am. That would be my rib on MLW Radio Network, where they have to put out these tweets with the name of our episode.
Yep. Or you name it something, no better wrestling than, and name a different promotion. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Why exactly? Why is our goal to get kicked off the MLW Radio Network? I don't know that we've.
I don't want to get kicked off. I just want to rib them. It's not wrong with a little light-heart rib.
Yeah,
light-hearted rib.
Yeah.
What's it? Wrist is the knuckle of the arm.
Wrist is the knuckle of the arm. What if we then do wrist is the knuckle of the arm dash, and then we use someone's social media handle as though that was their quote. So at MLW.
At Dave Meltzer. WO.
All right, that's what we're doing.
Then MLW is like, why did Meltzer block us?
All right. Well, so, all right, for anybody.
It's been nice.
Yep. So about 45 minutes into the show, for any of you who have been wondering why was this the name of episode 49? Thanks for hanging out with us for 45 minutes. Now you know. And knowing is half the battle.
Oh my God.
G.I. Joe.
Juvenile. Yeah.
You're so what?
It's juvenile.
Yeah. I was gonna say, what are you calling me?
There was a rapper named Juvenile, I think, right?
Yeah. Should have seen his bar mitzvah.
Back when rapper names were back when rapper names were pronounceable. What's that?
Pronounceable? Back when they were pronounceable.
Presumably.
We used to have.
Do you have any friends who say presumably?
I had a friend.
Supposedly.
His name was Biz. And I can't tell you what happened to him, or he'd get mad at me.
I'm the Biz, and I am.
Yeah. But he's moved on with his life to we wish him the best in his future endeavors. But back in the day, we used to try. He couldn't pronounce things, and he. So we would try to get him to say things like specifically Schlierkoff and stuff like that. He couldn't, the Pacific Somewhere.
Yes.
That
in
store.
The mall?
Yeah. He couldn't say, he'd be specifically he couldn't say it. So we would, we'd rib him, incredibly. But poor guy. No, but he'd always had trouble saying things.
I had a cousin who couldn't say Massachusetts.
Yeah?
She'd be like, Massachusetts.
I can't say anything that is another language. As anyone who's ever watched me cover New Japan or
they picked the right guy. They picked the right guy.
Yep. Yeah. I love how Fight. Can I just say there's also I had the pleasure. That is not a joke. It was. I wish the interview had been twice as long. It was so much fun interviewing Shane Taylor from Ring of Honor.
Awesome.
Dude, just a good guy, and
yes.
really had a good conversation with him, and wish we could have gone longer. But I got it. We talked a lot about the importance of his match. He's attempting to become the second ever African American Ring of Honor World Champion, and he's part of. He just recently, he and two teammates just became the first ever all African American 6-man tag team champions, where the entire team is.
Awesome. Yeah.
We talked all about the impact of that, how important that is to him. And we talked about Ron Simmons becoming the first black world champion, and the fans' reaction. It was just really and he said he was getting goosebumps, and I didn't want to say it there, but I was too,
Yeah.
Fight TV, who's going to be our home next week, Fight TV tweets out, which was really cool of them, but tweets all about it. And it's in honor of Black History Month. And, and they put it over. And all I'm looking at this thing is I'm just looking at my white face going it was just to really dig deep into Black History Month. Here's Josh Shernoff. Here's a white Jew.
Hey, guys.
He's hi, guys. Let me talk to you about the importance of African-American history. And it was, and I'm not joking when I say it was an honor to be put in that position and be able to discuss that. And it was so important to be able to talk about that. But I almost felt don't put me over as some sort of expert, I'm the voice of Black History Month. I was oh my God, there are definitely some more qualified, more talented people out there. But it just kind of made me laugh thinking about it, the way they presented it. But it was really, I was honored to be able to talk to him about that. And it was so cool.
He's a good dude. Shane Taylor's a good dude.
Yeah,
man.
it was really cool.
I love Ring of Honor. I should watch them more. They're doing great things with the.
I'd watch them more if the Blue Meanie was there.
Dude, me and the barroom brawlers, the Bar City, the
Beer City
fella.
Beer City Bruisers or bar. I don't know.
This is me having no lips. I want to be I would love to be a 6-man with those guys. I think we could have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And my last match was Ring of Honor. Last match to date was Ring of Honor. And we had a little 3-way meanie dance in the Battle Royal, which got over. I got a great reaction.
Yeah.
And I would love to do something with those guys. Just three big fellas. If we ever get a chance, maybe do a 6-man tag or something like that. Tag team. I've always been a tag team wrestler. I'm famously known for a 6-man tag, the BWO. Why not?
Yep.
You're the Beer World Order. I'm the Blue World Order.
I think that would be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
First of all, some great merch right there. The Beer World Order, blue and white shirts with the.
They, to their credit, they have a Beer World Order shirt, and they were very respectful and reached out and asked for permission. To do. I was like, just send me a shirt. I'm easily bribable.
Send me a shirt and 80% of the profits, and we're fine.
But I'm easily bribable with food and beer. Yes.
When the world comes back,
I'm begging.
I kind of feel like I don't want you to retire until I get to team with you.
That'd be fine.
My daughter asked me the other day why I don't wrestle anymore. And I sat her down and I said, sometimes people are good at things and sometimes they're not. And Daddy was not good. No, I was fine. I explained to her that, I have between my neck and stuff like that. It wasn't. And she's like, oh, so are you ever going to wrestle again? I'd like to see you wrestle. And that was like, that's kind of in the back of my mind, I was always like, man, I'd wrestle one more match if my kids cared. And I was like, they won't care. And then when she said that, I was like, it's like, I don't know. Could I wrestle one more match? But I'd want it to be with you. And then it's like, but who's booking that? You know? So
we'll hook up something with the Monster Factory. Danny Cage over there in the Monster Factory.
well, that could be fun.
Yeah, we could book something. Yeah, we could do a storyline where...
Yeah, where I'm just doing some commentary, and then I have to take the headset off and stand up and loosen the tie like the Big Show in your scenario, and and get in there. And then, no, I think I could go in there and hit my 5 moves of doom, and enough to... well,
of course, we'll wait till the world opens up. I just registered to try and get vaccinated, so...
Awesome.
Hopefully,
me too.
I get a notification for that soon.
Yeah.
I want to get my shots. I want to be good. And even when I get my shots, I'm still going to live like I didn't get my shots.
Yes,
and,
it's very smart.
That's the important part, But once the world opens back up, I definitely want to get back to the Monster Factory.
Yeah.
Because
just give me like a year to train. To get back in shape. My body is not, dude, I know how my body felt when I was taking bumps when I had like twice the muscle mass and was doing it all the time. I haven't wrestled in 12 years at this point. So give me a little bit of time. But all kidding aside, you need to get back out there. You need to be training people, teaching people things, and you need to be back out entertaining the fans.
Some might say I haven't wrestled in 25 years.
So the only thing is, like, my thought...
Is that 25? Wait, how many years ago is 94?
Well, let's say 10. That's not true.
Feels like it, right?
So 2014 would have been 20 years. So God, I can't believe you're making me do math here on... it's 27 years ago?
Yeah, so I haven't wrestled in 27 years. That's a good thing about
the only thing I don't know what to do is, like, if it's going to be officially my last match, I need to do the honors, but then I feel like I'm stealing your gimmick.
Like count the lights.
Yeah.
There are 12 lights in the Monster Factory.
What would be fun? To do whatever it is for us to do that match on the same show, where like immediately following the show is like a live Mind of the Meanie.
Yeah. Like
that would be cool. That would be a fun thing to be able to do.
Danny's good for that because, like, he would do like a Monster Factory show, and then after the main show, he would do like a almost like a variety thing, where he'd have one of our students, could sing and play guitar. He would have him go out there and sing a song.
That's awesome.
Just different things.
How many people are normally in attendance in that healthy time?
Like 250, 300 maybe.
Oh, dude. That's
gets a good crowd over there.
Compared to the shows I've worked before, that's fucking WrestleMania at the AT&T Stadium to me. Yeah. That's my debut match was against, or my final match. I think there was like I don't know, my debut, there was like maybe 150 people there. My last match I had against Rich Swann was maybe like 150 people there or something. The OVW days, there were a lot. We used to have a lot of people at like there were some towns, like Lexington, Kentucky was always like really good. You get some venues that were like huge. But of course, you've got WWE people there. Like that was, but that's that, man. I could hit 5 moves. Well, now I'm dreaming. Now I'm starting to dream. Bless you. And I don't know, but that's a dream of mine. I think that would be a lot of fun to be able to do that. But don't let that be your last match.
Well,
I
good
can't in
thing
good
about,
conscience allow you to have your last match teaming with me.
The good thing about Monster Factory shows is they're really kid friendly too. So
All right, good.
But yeah.
Well, then that's the perfect venue for a live Mind of the Meanie.
Oh yeah, right.
Yep.
But yeah, it's an idea. It's an idea.
We'll get the James Sorensen's asking if we can do the Pod Squad get together for our tag match. This tag match might not actually ever happen, guys, but
we're just fantasy balling
yes,
right now.
I definitely can be like, I can see myself being like, you know what? Maybe I should dust off some cobwebs, hit the ropes up at the Monster Factory, and then just be like, sorry guys, I'm out 6-10. But,
people don't realize how much those ropes hurt.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Like my move, like. I don't know. It's going to be very. I remember Nick Dinsmore coming back when we were training in OVW, and he comes back. He was our trainer, and he had just done a show at an indie, and he like proudly told all of us, he's like, I did a match. It was about 15 minutes. I didn't bump once. And we were like,
that's awesome.
How did you like? How did he? And he's like, and he like basically took us through how he was able to have a fun, entertaining match. He did not take one bump.
Yeah,
and I was like, this guy's my hero. But anyway, no, that'd be fun. We'll gauge the audience, see if anyone gives a shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll get some new gear with the Mind of the Meanie logo on there.
Why not?
Yeah. It'd be like when Triple H would come out and he had little NXT hidden all over his gear.
Yeah.
Of the Mind of the Meanie logo all over. That would be pretty awesome. But
oh, absolutely, man.
Now I got to work out.
Man. Well, they got a gym there, so.
Yeah. I'm building a gym upstairs in my house.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's a room that's going to have an elliptical and it's going to have a bench and dumbbells. But it's a gym. It's technically a gym.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. There I go.
There we go.
So,
what?
Huh?
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck just happened there. I just mentally went.
What is this?
What is that?
I'm getting to confirm my appointment. What appointment is this? I don't know. Oh,
are we getting our shot appointments?
No, that's what I thought for a second. I was like, did I just get notification live on the air? And it's like, no, this is for a haircut. So that's the thing. I didn't get my hair cut for a really long time. And then I finally got it cut for the photos for the action figures.
Yes.
And now I scheduled again. I'm like, I can't go back. I can't go back to that, start growing it out again, this awful long hair. It's just, and now I can just cut it nice and short.
Yeah.
Be fun.
I'm so fortunate Mrs. Meanie does my hair,
Yeah. She does a great job, too.
I appreciate that.
I assume she doesn't do your beard.
She wants to. But
I'm
really picky about it.
The contractor, I almost name dropped you. The contractor is here. He's got a big beard, and he goes, man, he's like, this pandemic has just been awful on my beard. And I wanted to be like, oh yeah, my friend, pro wrestling superstar, the Blue Meanie, has said the same thing. But I was like, oh yeah, a buddy of mine said the same thing. But I really for a split second was like, should I name drop the Blue Meanie to my contractor?
Dude, luckily I found a new mask.
Yeah.
I went and immediately bought like 3 of them.
Oh, nice.
And they fit my face so much better, and it tucks my beard in.
Oh.
Before, I was wearing the mask, and it would crimp it.
Yeah.
And I looked like I had like a 1980s teen idol hairstyle on my beard. It's crimped.
That's amazing.
I found this new mask. I was like, oh. And it kind of saved my beard from, because you wear it, if you go out and about and you're out for a couple of hours, you're wearing that thing for a couple of hours. And it's just like, man, it's just killing my beard game.
Yeah. Got to do something about the beard game, man. Got to keep it on fleek. Is that a thing? That's a thing people say, right? And I shouldn't.
No clue what that is. No clue. There's a lot of things
Vanessa
about
Bello
social media.
asks, can we all get a good group room rate at the Philly Four Seasons Total Landscape? But
Man.
James Sorensen wants to see your mask. James, that's just inappropriate. No. What?
I have wrestling masks in her room, but that's about it.
Have you wrestled in masks before?
No, I've never wrestled in a mask, but I have a friend who has like the mother of all WrestleMania parties, and when you go there, besides all the great food and booze, he just orders a box of masks from Mexico and just lays them out on the table, first come, first serve.
That's awesome.
And I have a whole shitload of masks. We've lined them. We've kind of like strung them together, and we're hanging them from the wall. And yeah, they're pretty cool. I'm a mask mark too. I love belts, but I love masks. You know.
Yeah. I'm more masks are cool. I'm definitely more.
I couldn't
of a belt
wrestle
guy.
on one. Yeah, I couldn't wrestle in a mask though, because
no.
Just your peripherals get all screwy and stuff like that. Yeah, I couldn't do that. F that noise.
F that noise.
F that S.
I feel like we're at the point now where we like should quickly be getting into the Ask Meanie segment, but I'm not sure that we even I feel like we didn't even start the show yet.
This is still the we're just talking to the Patreon folks.
Yeah. Hey, I will say though, I am super excited. I am super excited for next week to be doing this on always on Patreon, but on Fight. To have this video
Always Patreon.
Be on Fight. We have some nice lower thirds. We have a nice intro. We have some nice video things. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a really cool experience. So I'm excited. I hope people will join us over there.
Yeah, man.
At Fight TV. Fight.tv. And it's free to sign up to Fight.
And get your account ready now.
Yes.
Just so when you go to watch it, you don't have to jump through the hoops on your way to watch it. Just
Yeah.
get it out of the way now.
Just
sign
do it
up.
now.
It's so easy.
Look, I can't guarantee that the same success will happen for everyone, but I remember listening to Jim Ross's podcast way back in the day and him talking about this new Fight TV thing coming out and encouraging everyone, if you're a wrestling fan, you got to do it. You got to sign up for it. You got to sign up for it. I was like, all right, whatever. I'll sign up. I don't know that I'm going to watch anything. And now I have 15 shows on Fight. So I'm not saying that's going to happen to all of you, but it was worth signing up.
Remember when Flow Sports was supposed to be a thing?
No.
There's
I
like
don't. I don't.
this gimmick called Flow Sports, and they have like Wrestle Flow, Boxing Flow, or whatever. And they were supposed to be like competition to WWE, but it was like $20 a month. And then like they had the Evolve shows on there, they had Jakar shows on there, and then something happened and they went down. But I'm glad we have Fight TV, man. I don't know where I was getting with that fucking. I don't know where I was going with that point, but Fight TV's been really good to us. It's nice when they ask. It's nice when they come to us and ask us. Always
a good feeling.
It's always good to feel wanted.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I call Mike Weber from Fight weekly, and he goes, hello, and I go, hi, it's Josh. Do you want me? And he goes, no, please stop calling. Your show was supposed to have been removed from our network by now. But
you know what's funny? Because I got the Fight app on my phone, and my notification went off. And I looked at my phone, and there's your face. I got a notification for So Says Shernoff. It's like, oh,
awesome.
I should have screenshotted that and made that your thing on your phone. So when you call me, it's your Fight TV screenshot or whatever.
Nice. I feel like people are going to start to know that there was like a little bit of a little shenanigans going on in my new profile photo that I have for all these things, because depending on what it is, my microphone's different, but the photo's exactly the same. Like our action figures, it's a Mind of the Meanie mic cube. So Says Shernoff, it's a So Says Shernoff mic cube.
It's a nice little Easter egg.
What's that?
Nice little Easter egg.
Yeah, it's fun. Will it
Hey,
be?
you know what? You know what I've been doing, man?
What have you been doing?
Been listening to a lot of audiobooks.
Yeah, it's my favorite way to read.
Yeah. I try to read, and like I try to read autobiographies. But I'm a big fan of autobiographies.
Mm-hmm.
And like if I read something, like I got to read like the same paragraph 3 times before I move on and digest. Audiobooks, it's just listening, right? So I listen to. I've been doing a lot of it, like going down to Van Halen deep dives. I did which book? I'm trying to think of the chronology because I try to do it chronologically. There's a really good book by Greg Renoff called Van Halen Rising, which is about Van Halen's childhood all the way up to, when Dave left. And then the next book, which is perfect, it's called Running with the Devil by Noel Monk, who was their tour manager. So that takes you from when they were signed through when Dave left. And then Greg Renoff, who did Van Halen Rising, did a book with Ted Templeman, who was the producer for Van Halen. But Ted Templeman was also just a platinum producer. He discovered Van Halen. He discovered the Doobie Brothers. He produced the Doobie Brothers. He would actually help write songs. He would play on records. He was in the band before he was producer. And it's kind of cool to hear how he went from, being this kid to playing music to, the band kind of petered out. Mm-hmm. And then, like, he was trying to, like, what do I do now? And he went from being somebody that, like, they hired at the label to listen to demo tapes and potentially, suggest a band here and there. Flash forward, he goes from doing that to producing albums and engineering and all this stuff. And then, it goes on to discover one of, my favorite bands of all time.
Yeah.
That was a great audiobook. And then last night I just finished the autobiography of Steve Lukather, who's the guitar player from Toto. Oh. And, I also listened to that. I'm trying to keep a Van Halen theme. I knew Steve and Eddie were good friends, and there's like throughout the whole thing, there's like Van Halen references. But man, Steve Lukather's book is super good. It's called the something according to Luke. The book according to Luke.
The gospel.
Yeah, the gospel according to Luke. Thank you.
You're welcome.
His name's Steve. His name is Steve Lukather, but everybody's like, "Oh, get Luke." It's like, dude, what a fucking career this guy had. Everybody's like, "Yeah, Toto, haha, Africa, Rosanna," but dude,
yeah, everyone laughs at those songs. You mean the songs that everybody knows and most people can't even remember the first time they heard it or how they know all the words to the song, but you just know them?
And he's known for those 2 songs, but dude, like the level of songs he's been on, credited and uncredited, blew my mind. Like every song, like he's like, yeah. So I got called in the studio to do this song with the Tubes. She's a beauty, and I was like one of my favorite songs from the '80s. He's doing songs like back in the day, producers, if they didn't like how you played, they just went and get, Kiss is infamous for this.
Yeah.
You look at every Kiss record in the '70s. There's a good chance Ace Frehley didn't play on that on any of those records. And there's, I just found out a clip of, Gene Simmons brought in Eddie and Alex Van Halen to play on demos for, Christine 16.
Oh, wow.
And the rumor was they kept it, But just Steve Lukather, he played on like some Kiss records. He played on everything, and it's astounding.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So if you're a music head like I am, and you know what's cool? I know I'm all over the place, but I try to keep a theme with the books I've been listening to between like Van Halen and stuff like that. But then with the Ted Templeman book, he was talking about how he got called in to produce an Eric Clapton album, Behind the Sun, and which Phil Collins had been producing, which I never knew. And they call it, the studio didn't like how it was produced with Phil Collins, so they called in Ted Templeman to kind of clean it up, kind of polish it up a little bit. And then I go and listen to the Steve Lukather book, and he's like, yeah, I got called in on the Eric Clapton Behind the Scene thing with Ted Templeman. So it's like kind of like we're two shows mixed together. So it's like kind of like really cool that I picked this chronological of books to listen to, or books that really have nothing to do with each. I mean, the earlier ones have a Van Halen thing, but I was like, let me go into the Steve Lukather book, and he started talking about stuff that Ted Templeman was talking about in his book, and I just happened to pick these books by chance.
That's awesome.
So it's kind of cool to see, things from different perspectives, and come together and stuff like that. But the Steve Lukather book, man, the awesome thing about his book is you're listening to it and it's him reading it.
Right.
A lot of times with audiobooks, you listen, they hire somebody to read it.
Right. Which is fine if it's, like I know like my brother he's an author and has a number of books that were audiobooks, and the company that produced them, they hired someone to read the stuff.
Yeah.
But those were fiction. And that's a totally different story. But like Jim Ross's book, I know Jim Ross recorded it. If Jim Ross, I don't want someone else reading, pretending to be Jim Ross. Like, no, I want to hear the actual guy. So I completely agree with you. An autobiography, absolutely, it's got to be the guy who it's about.
And the Steve Lukather book is great because it sounds like he's just hanging. It sounds like you're hanging with the guy, and the guy's humor is right up there with us. He says some shit like, "Oh, dude, I gotta fucking steal that." But like he'll say something, he goes, "By the way, this isn't in the book, but such and such, such and such." And he'll say something. He'll go off like all, by the way, that wasn't in the book, but
that's great.
Yeah. So such a great listen. Such a great musician. And those, dude, if you're a Van Halen fan, music fan, get Van Halen Rising, Greg Renoff. Get Running with the Devil by Noel Monk. Get the Ted Templeman book, Stories of Platinum Producer. How they have the name and then such and such, such and such, such and such. Get the Ted Templeman book. Get the Steve Lukather book. And it's just, it's such an easy, great listen, and before you know, you're like, man.
I need the world to come back so I can travel again, because that was when I don't have time at home to listen to anything. It was always either on my way to work, or if I was at like my actual office away from here, which I think is, I still have, but I got to tell you, like most businesses kind of looking at that expense and going, weighing those options of keeping another office. But I used to be able to go out, and that's when I would listen to these things, whether it's podcasts or audiobooks or I remember listening to, like I mentioned, my brother's audiobook, listening to that on the plane when I'd be going to different, either going to visit family or going to a wrestling event. We're coming up on Revolution is the last time I traveled. Last year's Revolution pay-per-view. So, which as this airs, I think it's like a 1-year anniversary of that. So it's crazy, but I'm there's so many books I'd like to listen to, because I just don't, the only time I ever have to read a book is when I'm like driving, and I'm pretty sure they frown upon that. So I'm a big fan of the audiobooks. Hey, I did want to say James Sorensen had asked a question, and RJ had asked questions as well about when we were talking about episode 50, which begins the show on Fight. So James asked, when are you planning on to record? And RJ asked, will it be only on Fight? So this is how this is going to go.
Yes.
We're going to record it whenever we normally record. So the deadline is pretty much Saturday. So if we can't do it Saturday, it would be earlier in the week, because of the fact that we have to do video, we need that time. So Sundays are not seeming very likely to ever be recording, but on average, we will be recording the podcast the same way that we record the podcast now. live with our Patreon members here watching us and being able to communicate with us. We will then put the audio out to the general public at 6 a.m. Monday morning, as we always have, except for the couple times where we screwed up and it came earlier. We've all had that problem once or twice.
Grandma naked.
Yikes. And then the video.
That's what I
version.
do to keep from coming early.
Oh God. And then the video. I'm glad you went into more detail on that. I don't think anybody got it.
Baseball.
Yep.
Grandma naked.
And then the Yokozuna naked. And then so we're gonna record it like normal. We're gonna do the video. We're gonna do the audio. Will be 6 a.m. on Monday morning. The video will air every Monday at 6 p.m. on Fight.
Yes.
So we're not quite prime time, but we end up in prime time because our show goes so long. So we thought, we could have. They were kind enough to basically ask us, when do you want it to air? And my thought was, you're not going to do 8 o'clock and compete with Raw. You want people to watch. So my thought was, people get home from work, put on Fight TV, watch Mind of the Meanie, get yourself all ready to sit down and watch Raw. There you go.
Or AEW Dark Penetration.
Oh, man. So that's it.
Elevation. Sorry.
Yes.
We should call our show Mind of the Meanie Penetration. Or Escalation.
Oh, my. So I think we're going to stick with wrist as the knuckle of the arm, Dave Meltzer. Yeah. W-I-N. At Dave Meltzer, W-I-N. We're definitely doing it. We're definitely doing it.
Hey, man.
So the what you can expect on Fight versus what you can expect on Patreon. Because some people might wonder, well, why am I joining Patreon if I can just watch this for free on Fight? Well, number one, you're not there live interacting with us when we're recording it.
You're part of the process.
Yes, if you're on Patreon, you get to be here, you get to be a part of it while it's happening. Also, you get it early. You get it as it happens. Even if you can't be here live, you're still going to instantly be able to access it on Patreon and be able to watch it, days earlier. But
you're getting the unsanitized version.
You're getting the unsanitized version. You're not going to get all the fun bells and whistles of the video and the lower thirds and things like that, because that happens in post. But you are going to get the post-show, pre-show fuckery that is the Mind of the Meanie, where we just talk a little bit before and after. So you still get that on Patreon. What you are going to get with Fight is, like I said, you're going to get some cool extra video things. And then the question becomes, is it going to end up on our YouTube? And the answer is yes. It's going to end up on our YouTube, I believe, the day after it's on Fight. Yeah. So I believe Tuesday. So maybe it'll be like a Tuesday 6 a.m. or something like that, It will be available on youtube.com/Mind of the Meanie. So if you are just dead set on not signing up for Fight for whatever reason, there you go. But that's pretty much the plan.
Sign up for Fight.
Sign up for Fight. Sign up for Fight. And subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
youtube.com/Mind of the Meanie. Oh, and while you're at it, go watch So Says Shernoff this month. It was awesome.
It's Pop's so huge. Yeah.
Hey, you want to ask Meanie anything?
I dare you. It's time to ask Meanie anything. Ask me something.
All right. Can't wait for the graphic that goes along with that. Hey, can I crack open my seltzer first?
Yeah, let's do that.
I've got ginger.
I got Marianne. No. I wish. Even old Marianne, still hot. I got
may she rest in
cranberry.
peace, but yes.
Yeah, man. Yeah. She was awesome.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Go Birds.
There we go. Go Birds to various other teams all spread out.
Yeah, man. They're fucking, they cut Deshaun. They're releasing Alshon.
Yep. Deshaun, Alshon.
Yeah.
Sean.
Yeah, Sean.
Yeah.
Man, that smells pretty good. Hold on. I was like, what's that scent? Oh, that's my drink.
Well, it definitely wasn't your anything else.
Man, that's fucking horrific. Not the seltzer, my everything.
Yes. My everything is horrific. Selector.
Dude, do you ever fart? Do you ever fart and you go, I just ate that. Why does it smell like that?
You ever piss and after you have asparagus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eggs are my asparagus farts.
I see.
You just fart and you're like, dude, I just ate those eggs.
Yeah. It's weird. But it happens. It happens that way.
Yeah.
We've talked about that when you fart and it's somebody else's came out of your asshole. Like you don't. Like who's in there?
It's like the corn effect, you know?
Yeah.
If somebody gives you corn, just take the fucking corn and swipe it right into the fucking toilet.
Yeah.
It's just gonna 20 minutes later, you're just gonna shit it out.
Yeah, you might as well just take the corn while it's still on the cob and just shove it right up your ass. You know? Anyway, speaking of
shoving things up our ass.
Speaking of assholes, Mark and Dryden asks, what are Josh and Meanie's opinions on dirt sheets and Meltzer and Wade Keller? Any interesting interactions with either of them? Oh, man. Well, we don't have that much time to continue to devote to.
I don't want to seem like I'm bitter or angry. It's just amusing.
Yeah, I'm not bitter or angry. I think Meltzer's a douchebag. And
he wasn't always like
Keller.
that, though.
What's that?
Yeah. It's disappointing about Meltzer because he wasn't always like that.
I feel like he kind of was, though. If you dig back and you listen to some of his, or you read some of his things, like he was always like trying to pop himself or pop his you know, whatever his name is.
Look, for everything I said about Meltzer, let me tell you one thing that he said that fucking popped me as a reader growing up. I guess Randy Savage went on Arsenio Hall back in the day, and Meltzer was talking about that. And Arsenio asks Randy Savage about steroids, and did you ever use them? And Randy Savage, well, I've experimented with them, you know, back when they were legal. And Meltzer goes, yeah, and I experimented with a typewriter. And I read that, and I laughed for a good, 20 minutes. I was like, that's pretty good.
Here's the thing with Meltzer. I don't actually have any issue with him other than the fact that he blocked me for not...
just for a cartoon.
Yeah. I mean, it was also because I said that he would only react if you criticize Japanese wrestling. I mean, yeah, great way to prove me wrong. Block me as your reaction to that. But, yeah, I asked him, hey, could you rate Meanie Toons? You rate Meanie Toons? I thought it would be fun. You know, Meanie Toons got 5 stars from Dave Meltzer. I thought, no one's going to just be that's real, you know? I thought it would be a little fun thing. And the more that I've kind of,
Dave could have been a good sport.
Yes, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
You know? And he just, I don't know.
Wrist knuckle.
To me, yeah. Wrist knuckle. He just, no, that's my issue. And like I said, I don't actually I've never interacted with Wade Keller. I've interacted with Meltzer.
Wade's a good dude. I just want to know why he called me gay. I don't know.
Yeah. And
not there's nothing wrong with being gay.
Of course not. No, not there's anything wrong with it.
I love the gays. They know how to party, man.
Man, Blue Meanie, quote, on WrestleZone, quote, I love the gays. They know how to party.
They do.
Yeah. They know how to do a lot of things. It's almost like they're just people, you know?
Yeah. I could never be gay because I couldn't get in that good a shape.
No.
See the abs on those
No,
guys?
I think they'd call you a bear.
Oh, dude, the bears love me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a couple friends who are bears. They're like,
Well, now the bears love you, or they consider you a fellow bear.
I could be an honorary bear.
Mm.
You know, hold on. Yeah. But yeah, just sending out a signal.
My feeling with Meltzer is it's pretty well established. My feeling is this. He loves to call people on things. He loves to criticize people on things. He's not a reporter. He's an opinionist. He writes a column with his opinions. Totally fine. Nothing wrong with that. But he's not a reporter. And my feeling is if you want to be somebody who just critiques, if you want to be a wrestling critic, be a wrestling critic. That's who you are. Don't claim to be a reporter and give false information. Also, don't be an asshole just to be an asshole. There are times where you can do it. You can poke fun. We can have a little good time. You can make a little side comment.
Poke the bear.
You can poke the bear if you want, or even the honorary bear. But to just be, there's so many times where he's just been mean, just downright mean for no reason whatsoever. And I don't like that. And as I've said on my show before, the irony coming from a guy who does a satirical wrestling news show is not lost on me. I get that I poke fun at things, but I'm poking fun. I'm having fun. I'm not criticizing people and look, I'm sure you could dig up something I said that wasn't funny and wasn't appropriate. We've all been there. But you try and learn from those lessons, or you try and go like, ooh, I probably should have said that. I didn't mean that the way it came off. You don't double down and triple down and quadruple down and make an entire career out of doing that and then claim you don't. And my other feeling is if Dave Meltzer can go on the Wrestling Observer and can criticize other people, then we should all be free to criticize him, and he should be able to put his big boy pants on and not whine and bitch and complain about it and block people because somebody said something not so nice about Dave Meltzer, who's made a career burying other people.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion on it.
His big boy Stonewash.
Yep. Mark and Dryden also had a question. Meanie, who were some wrestlers that were way cooler to you than expected when you were in ECW and WWE, and were any wrestlers complete assholes to you?
I think the asshole thing's been documented.
Nova.
You know who was super cool? Adam Bomb, Brian Clark, and Crush.
I always heard he was the bomb. I'll see myself out there with
But I'll give you a little bump. But
thank you.
I remember going to when we did the Invasion of Raw. Those guys were there, and they were like super cool. You know, hey, how you doing? Hey, you know, like they knew who I was, which kind of fucking blew my mind. Super cool guys. There's been a lot of good people. Yeah, but I'll go with those two for now, off the top of my head, because it just really, like, you know, I was a fan of those guys, and you get to meet them, and I met Adam Bomb as a fan too at the Spectrum. I got to go into like a press box. Like I was with my friend Dave. Meltzer. Dave Baumkratz. Dave Baumkratz, which everybody called the 40-year-old, 15-year-old, because he looked like he's 40, but he looked like he was 15. And I guess he knew one of the Hebners, and they saw him. I was sitting with him at the show, and one of the Hebners gave him tickets to go in the press box. I was like, all right, I'm coming with you. And that's where I first met. I first met Luna. I met Adam Bomb there, got a photo with him, and I met Raven for like a second, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, looking back, I'm sure, you know, somebody who was so incredibly important to your career.
Yeah, and this is around the time I was talking to Phyllis Lee about potentially going to the Malenkos before I went to Al Snow's. And I name dropped her to him, and he kind of opened up. He's like, oh, yeah, it's a good school, you know, or whatever, you know, just real brief. You know, but yeah, that was a kind of a cool situation too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
John Mark Saw asks, what was the scariest match you ever had?
Ooh. Scariest match.
You ever wrestle New Jack? I have to imagine.
I was nervous going into it, just not knowing what I was getting into. And then once I was done with it, I was like, oh, that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jack always took care of me. You know, only situations that were like truly scary is like where I knew I had a lot of shit to do and timing was imperative to the spot. You know,
Right.
if you were in there with Raven, his timing was awesome. And you don't want to let him down. So you got to know when this happens, you got to do that. And when that happens, you got to do this. That kind of thing. So there was always that fear of, never really had fear going into a match, but, you know, I had fear of fucking up, you know, maybe a Raven spot or whatever.
Especially if it's someone else's match and you're outside the ring, kind of, you know, and you're like a part of it. Well, I mean, like if you look at so many times when you were, like you're saying, when you were a second to, you know, Raven or Stevie or something like that, I'd have to imagine you don't want to go in and fuck up their match, right?
Right.
So
right. And there's times where I've maybe once or twice I made a mistake, and yeah, that's a horrible feeling to have to explain yourself, you know. And you don't want to, you can't pass it, you got to own it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you live and you learn. You know, that's always my I was never really scared going to a match, but I was afraid of fucking up.
Yeah, I get that. RJ Krasinski has an Ask Meanie question. Thoughts on the heel turn of Adam Cole and the what seems to be dissolvement of the Undisputed Era?
For a second, I was thinking of Michael Cole. I was like, when did Michael Cole turn heel?
A few years back, remember he had his thing with Daniel Bryan?
Yeah.
Lawler.
Yeah. I liked it. I liked that faction. So I'm kind of bummed out that they split up. But, you know, in the COVID era, when it comes down to, you know, not knowing, you know, what roster is going to be available to fight on a show, and you got 4 people tied up in one faction, you kind of have to do things to break it up so that you have a fresh feud and you have more people who can wrestle each other. You know what I'm saying? When you got the faction of 4 guys, they had to face another 4 guys. So now that, you know, they're worried about who's going to, you know, test positive or all this stuff, you know, if they're going to try to, you know, keep them, you know, in this bubble or whatever, you kind of have to break that thing up and have them wrestle each other. So from the creative standpoint, it seems like a matter of convenience.
Right. That makes sense.
Because they need, you know, folks to wrestle each other. I'll be interested to see where it goes, because there are going to be some great matches. But I was a big fan of the faction, and I'm bummed it's broken up, but I understand why.
I think there's so much potential money in a one-day main roster reunion. Yeah. Think about that. Let all 4 guys go their own ways, or, you know, maybe 2 of them stay together, or whatever it is. And one day they find their way to, you know, it's something that a couple of years down the line, when they've all become individual established stars, you could get a Undisputed Era reunion run.
Kind of like a Shield reunion, you know, when they put the fist out and stuff like that, and the crowd goes ape shit. Yeah.
Yep. And there's so many guys that you can have so many opportunities where they're interacting, but never quite getting all 4 back together. Yeah. And then get them all back together. So there's potential down the line. And they had a great run. You know, they really did. All right, let's see. We've got some questions here that came to us. Here's one. from John Rogers, asked on our Patreon page. Recently, WFAN radio host Craig Carton came out and said he was supposed to be the original commentator for ECW. Everyone on ECW's side has denied this claim. What is your take on this claim? P.S. I was at his last public appearance, his summer celebrity softball game, co-hosted by Boomer Esiason, before Carton got arrested for fraud back in 2017. I should point out that Craig Carton also tweeted that the great at Dave Meltzer WON has confirmed my story of becoming the next Joey Styles, to which Dave Meltzer replied, I didn't do that. So, my opinion, if I may, Meanie, before we hear from someone who really knows, Carton got arrested for fraud.
Which I'm not aware of, but
but that kind of, I don't know, kind of makes me feel a little bit like
it's bullshit.
Like you should be. Here's it. There's no. Come on, give me your opinion. I want your opinion before I pontificate.
I don't even remember, because supposedly he worked in Philly for WIP.
Yeah,
here in Philly, which was 610 WIP. Now it's 94.1 WIP. And I had to reach out to some of my buddies at WIP. I was like, did he really work there? They're like, yeah, he worked there. But even then, Joey Styles was Joey Styles before he went to ECW.
Yeah.
You know, that was his name.
The only truth that there could be would be if someone came to him and offered him a position and said, he goes, well, what is this looking like? And they go, well, you'll be Joey Styles. In the sense
in the role of.
Right. Like if I got a call from WWE, well, we want you to be on commentary. Well, who are you going to be? Well, you'll be Michael Cole. Well, no, I'm not changing my name to Michael Cole. They're giving me that position. By the way, feel free to start that rumor, but that's not happening. But no, that to me is the only amount of truth that I think is feasible, that they were talking to him in the sense of, you'll be Joey Styles, you'll be JR, you'll be Tony Schiavone, you'll be, we're not giving you this gimmick. We're bringing you into that position.
It's like Vince is a big fan of the Mighty Mouse role in wrestling, like Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
And then somebody was like, Vince McMahon wants somebody to be in the role of Mighty Mouse. He's going to come out to the ring dressed like... And it's like, no, he's not going to dress like Mighty Mouse.
I'm pretty sure that was Dave Meltzer who said that.
Yeah. Yeah, the role of the underdog fighting from underneath kind of thing, stuff like that. Yeah, I don't believe any of it. I don't believe a word of it. It's funny, Paul Heyman actually came out and called bullshit on it, to which Bubba backed him up and told him to get a shine box.
And then, but here's the best part. Heyman calls bullshit, and then the guy, clearly not knowing about the wrestling landscape, decides to use Dave Meltzer as the Meltzer confirmed it. So, that's all, which, first of all, means nothing. We've established that.
Right.
Secondly, Meltzer then says, no, I did not. However, Meltzer saying he didn't also means nothing because the guy is not reliable. So a clusterfuck of unreliability.
It was definitely an interesting 2 or 3 days there when the guy said it. Sign guy Dudley, a.k.a. Louis D'Angeli, tweeted that to he tagged Heyman and it was like, huh? And then, Paul came out and it's bullshit.
John Clifford writes, Asuka recently had one of her teeth knocked out. Does WWE have a deal with a dentist to quickly replace the tooth for WWE talent before they have to appear on TV again?
I'm sure they do something,
I'm sure they probably just take them
unless
to an
you're
emergency dentist, or they'll go to their own dentist and...
Yeah, I'm sure there's places in Orlando. I'm sure WWE covers the cost.
Yeah,
anytime you're hurt in the ring, I'll give them this much. People don't like the what are we labeled as? Independent contractor status. because if you're not an independent contractor, you don't get health benefits.
Right.
But if you're hitting the WWE ring, they'll pick up the tab.
Is there truth to the rumor that people would get hurt and then would just not say anything until they were in the ring? They'd get hurt outside the ring. Maybe they tore something training and they just kayfabe it until they got into the ring because they knew that the company would pay for it if they got hurt in the ring versus say, oh, I tore my pec training, in the gym.
I can't confirm or deny that because I just don't know if somebody's actually done that.
It makes sense. I cannot. All kidding aside, you're working out, and you're paying for this 100% because you just pulled something or tore something while you're at the gym, or you can just kind of be like, you know what, I can suck this up. I'll go have my match, and I'll come back and go, man, this is kind of bothering me. I should get it looked at. It's just kind of look. I understand that's not maybe the right thing to do, but it's also maybe not the right thing to do to not give insurance to your.
Yeah, they're going. It's just a way of fucking them back.
Yeah.
No, fuck me. No, fuck you.
Devin Miller wrote, Josh, feel free to use this as a talking point for the show or use it for AMA. That's Ask Meanie Anything for people who don't know. I recently rewatched Barbed Wire City for the first time in a while. Meanie is featured heavily in it. How was it filming for that documentary? It looks like he was filmed at a bar for part of it. Is that the famous McCuskers? Also, can Meanie give his thoughts on the memories of the first Extreme reunion, anything about the show, crowd, or the Sabu incident?
Yeah, that was McCuskers.
Nice.
Well, the first time they interviewed me for Barbed Wire City was at the reunion show, and they interviewed me, and I reached out to him. I was like, "Hey, man, if you want to do another interview," I wasn't really comfortable, and that's because they were interviewing me while everything's breaking down. I was like, man, I felt like I was totally distracted while I was being interviewed. Hopefully, I doesn't, fuck up, your project or whatever. If you'd like to do a more extensive interview, and John Filipavich, the director, reached out. I was like, oh yeah, and they came down he's from, I want to say the Allentown area, so they just drove down to McCuskers, set up, and we filmed there. The infamous Extreme Reunion show had the chance to be awesome, but it was just a clusterfuck. I wasn't aware of the Sabu thing until later on. Apparently, and the weird thing is they had the fan fest before the show. Fans are coming up to me and are like, where's Sabu? I was like, I don't know. What am I, his fucking handler? I don't know.
Who am I, 911?
Yeah. I was like, I don't know. And this is before I was aware of anything like TMZ was just starting out, and apparently it was on TMZ. I didn't know. So people are asking me questions. What
was the incident? I don't remember it.
He took too much pain medication.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay.
And went to a soma coma or whatever it was, and which eventually was documented in Barbed Wire City, blah, 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 blah. And just incredible. Took a photo of it and posted it online, which wonderful. Thanks.
Yeah. What an incredible thing to do.
Yeah, that was kind of a dick move.
Yeah, that's fucking terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible if you're a fan and you do that, or if you're just a random. I hate TMZ for doing shit like that as it is.
Yeah.
This is one of the boys. You don't do that. You don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And the ironic thing is I guess he was passed out in the locker room, and somebody posted a photo of him passed out in the locker. Because he was supposed to be on the show, and he was in no condition to compete, ironically. And the promoters asked him to leave the building. So, so that show was a recipe for disaster. Just the way it was booked from, the gangsters, coming out doing the running and getting jumped, and then, killed the mood. That thing, it was a reunion show. Have an ECW reunion show.
Yeah.
splice in some newer talent. And, if you're going to wean out some of the ECW guys and use the newer talent, there's a better way to do it than when they did, which was almost incite a riot,
Yeah.
They're the best. Mrs. Meanie loves telling this story. I wish she was here, but the best part of that night is after the show, we went out to eat at a local diner, and Al Snow remarked that when they announced the return date, the fans booed. And Al was like, I've been in this business for 30 years. I've never heard fans boo a return date.
Man.
So the theme of the night was like, we'd be eating, and then out of nowhere, somebody go, they booed the return date. But yeah, I set up to do merch, intermission after show in the lobby. And then I heard the crowd getting restless during the main event. I was like, oh, let me get the fuck out of here. I packed up my shit and ran back to the locker
You don't want
room.
people to remember you were a part of it.
Oh, I was the first guy they would see, coming through the doors as they were leaving the building. I didn't want that, I didn't want that collateral damage.
Hey, Andy Slichter
Yes.
asks, how much Retromania have you played?
I haven't played it yet because I don't like to play on Steam yet. But,
so I haven't played it yet because I don't know what the fuck Steam is.
Yeah, I played, full disclosure, I played the early versions, but now that it's officially released, I'm waiting for the PlayStation version.
So does anyone know how to use Steam? Because full disclosure, they sent me a thing to be able to play the game as part of my massive contract with them. And and I'm like, cool, all right, I'll go to Steam. And I'm looking at, I'm like, I don't know what Steam is. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not stupid. I get it's clearly some form of, online gaming. But damn, I don't know what to do. He's like, no, you just download it and you put this code in and you'll be good to go. I haven't been able to figure it out. So if someone wants to help me with a tutorial of how to do it, I'm very excited to play. I've heard awesome things about it.
Oh, I've seen some very awesome video clips as well.
Yeah. I watched a little bit of the majors trying to, them playing it at first. Of course, my good longtime close personal friend Colt Cabana playing it. Yeah, it's people seem to really enjoy it. I have not heard any negative things about my role, which is great. Because I was, you never know. You never know what's gonna happen when people finally are playing it, or if it's just, oh god, this guy's just so damn annoying. I can't stand his voice, or that's no Howard Finkel. I don't know, but it's so cool to be in that. And it hasn't. I don't think it's really. I think once a PlayStation game comes out or something, it's in your hand. I don't think it's really hit me yet that I've now officially been in a video game with you and all of the other incredible talent that's in that game. I'm in a video game with the Road Warriors. That's insane. That I'm so honored to have been able to announce all these people to the ring. It's just crazy. So I haven't played it yet, and I can't wait to play it. Very excited for it.
Very cool. Yeah, I definitely want to play it. I'm not too keen on Steam.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Steam. As Slichter told me to call him about Steam. So, all right, Slichter, we'll talk later, and you can hold my hand through this because I don't know.
The only thing I know about Steam is fogs my glasses.
Oh, you. Last one here. Oh no, we'll do two more. Three more. James wants to know what brand of seltzer we're drinking. Mine's Wegmans.
Mine's
Travis wants to know what do you think of the new Foo Fighters album?
Love it.
You talking about this one?
the theme around is it's inspired by David Bowie's Let's Dance record, which is an awesome record. David Bowie did an album, Let's Dance. A lot of people don't know Stevie Ray Vaughan played guitar on that.
I think we have a clip of that right here.
Love it. We got the vinyl version, and of course I got digital too. I buy everything
Naturally.
now, so dig it. I just definitely got to definitely just keep playing it.
Yeah.
I miss the days when you could buy
asked.
an album. I miss the days of just buying music and laying in bed and just reading the liner notes and smelling the packaging. You smell ink and stuff like that. And just my childhood. That's my childhood. Just buying tapes, putting them in, reading the liner notes.
Laying in bed, smelling your package.
Yeah. I still do that. Very oniony. End of the day.
Last question here comes from RJ. What?
This steel line from the Steve Lukather's book. My underwear looks like a coffee filter from 1972. I used coffee filter. I used my
RJ says, if you had to eat one food the rest of your life, what would you eat and why?
Chicken. Any kind of chicken. Because you could just dial it up any kind of way you want, really. I would say steak, but steak is steak. Chicken, you can
make a bunch of different ways.
Make it sweet. You can make it spicy. There's a moment where I was dieting and I was eating like tuna and rice every day, which sounds kind of bland, but like I got the Jim Ross seasoning.
Yeah.
Just put that in there, or if I'm tired of that, put in some sriracha. If I'm tired of that, put in whatever. Anything that's meat, and you can just dress it up all different kinds of ways.
I feel like I would choose cereal.
Yeah.
I mean,
what brand?
Can I tell you?
Does it have to be
Fruity
specific?
Pebbles I could eat every day for the rest of my life.
Really?
There's some things, like one of my favorite all time, Quisp, which is basically it's like Captain Crunch but doesn't cut the roof of your mouth. Meets Cookie Crisp, but without the chocolate part, which is really good. It doesn't really exist anymore. You can like order it online, but no, to me, like Fruity Pebbles, man, cinnamon Life cereal.
I'm a big mark for the new line of Cheerios with the oats and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's just, I mean, one food, I don't know which one it would really be, but I have to really think about it. But I love cereal, and I don't eat cereal because I can't eat, like, if I have cereal in the house, I'm going to have cereal. It's going to be at least 3 servings worth. And then at night, I'm going to be sitting watching TV with a giant bowl of cereal. That's another 3 servings worth of cereal. 2 days later, the box is empty. It just doesn't work for me. So, brother.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hey, honey, did you Quisp?
Only during breakfast.
Yeah.
What? Quisp. It does a body good.
Quisp, a front fart. On that note,
everybody, I think it's time that we get out of here. Hey, thank you all so much. This was a blast. This was a really fun episode. Coming up next week, episode 50 and the debut on Fight. Very excited about that. Meanie, can you believe next week is our 50th episode?
Man, it's awesome, and it's a testament to the Pod Squad who's kept us going.
Yeah,
without the Pod Squad, there would be no Mind of the Meanie. So.
100% agree with you on that.
Absolutely.
Vanessa says, get the plugs in. You bet your bottom dollar that's what we're going to do. And you can spend your bottom dollar over at prowrestlingtees.com/mindofthemeanie with all of our great shirts over there. If you want to support us on that site individually, it's prowrestlingtees.com/BlueMeanie and prowrestlingtees.com/so says Shernoff. Blue Meanie's got all the BWO stuff you could ever want to get your hands on, and also some really great creative things, some great creations by Mrs. Meanie. Definitely check that out. I've got sarcasm as my superpower. I've got shirts like the one I'm wearing here with just the vintage S. What's that?
Sarcasm is my superpower. It's my favorite shirt.
Oh, thank you so much. I also have the Superstar of Sarcasm logo is up there as well now, thanks to Andy Slichter. Looks like the old Superstars of Wrestling logo, but don't tell Pro Wrestling Tees because they let it slide, even though they wouldn't do the King of Sarcasm logo that looked like the King of the Ring. You got to go to Patreon for that. And that's patreon.com/mindofthemeanie. We have more tiers there than Dave Meltzer when he finds out that Okada and Omega are not wrestling this year. Lots of tears. Yeah, go over to, I don't know, I kind of stole that joke from So Says Shernoff. But,
there you go.
Hey, you can steal from yourself, but you know, if you really want to steal, you want to join Patreon because then you're going to get discounts on our Pro Wrestling Tees page and you're going to be able to watch this show live. And that's what everybody wants to do. They want to watch this live. Meanie, big fan of Cameo.
Go to cameo.com/BlueMeanieBWO and get a well wish, birthday wish, happy anniversary, or if you just want me to break somebody's balls, go to cameo.com/BlueMeanieBWO for all your Blue Meanie well wishing needs.
And if for whatever reason you are so out of touch with reality that you want me to send somebody a message, you can go to cameo.com/So Says Shernoff, and it would be my honor, my pleasure, and my joy to do that for you. All of our balls will be in our pants. What else can we do? Oh, yeah. Make sure to join us on Fight for alternative commentary during AEW's Revolution pay-per-view. That's going to be coming up soon. Make sure as well to check out So Says Shernoff on Fight. And you can subscribe to YouTube, youtube.com/So Says Shernoff. Watch it there. But if there is a YouTube channel you need to be a part of, it's youtube.com/mindofthemeanie. Vanessa says, speaking of Cameo, with a couple of wide eyes, I don't know what she's doing over there on Cameo. Last time it was Danhausen saying hello to us, so excited to see what happens there. Alternative commentary for AEW next Sunday, Travis asks. Yes, indeed. What else didn't we plug? Hey, collarandelbowbrand.com. They got awesome shirts.
Go over to collarandelbowbrand.com, use promo code Meanie and save 10% on so many fine, fashionable shirts by Al Snow and Rod Wicks.
And I think that's it, Meanie. I think that's about it. We got the first 49 down, and one more to go. What? No. Totally forgot to bring up ECW on Raw, says Andy Slichter. I don't know what that means, but we'll talk about that another time. Was ECW on Raw?
Oh, the anniversary.
The anniversary of ECW on Raw. Yeah, we totally forgot to talk about that. Son of a...
But we talked about that on episode, I'm Not Lucas episode. So.
Yes, on the I'm Not Lucas episode, that was discussed. So go back into the archives and check that out.
I think it was episode 6.
What's that?
I think it was episode 6.
6 or 7, somewhere in there. One of those. It's fine. Yeah, that's about it. That's all we really have. Oh, hey, go to mindofthemeanie.com, click on the link, and pre-order your Mind of the Meanie action figures by Cella Toys. If you're outside the U.S., go to cellatoys.net and order them from there. If you want them signed, you can get them signed from us. So if you're outside the U.S. but you want them signed, send us a message on social media and we'll work it out. We'll figure out how we can handle that. We just couldn't put it up on the site because, honest to God, we don't know how much money it's going to cost to send it to you outside the U.S. So we don't want to lose money and we don't want you to spend too much. So, but we'll work it out. We promise these will get signed one way or the other. We will sign them for you. We don't know how, we don't know when, we don't know where. We'll get them signed. Meanie, this has been my pleasure.
As is mine.
Join us at adfreeshows.com on March 1st for free for That Was Extreme. It's a great show that Meanie and I are about to go record with Joel Gertner. So,
I think he's in the lobby waiting on us.
He's waiting. For the Blue Meanie, I am Josh Shernoff. Join us again next Monday for the 50th trip into the mind of the Meanie.
Blue World Order. The world of MLW radio never stops.